Y'all ain't gonna admit it, but being black is only cool now because of black Americans. Everything from our music, fashion, art, food, our entire culture. All from scratch, mind you. And yet for decades, no one has been able to hold a candle for what we have done. They've burned and destroyed everything that we hold dear, and yet we still remain top of the globe. We stay on everybody's minds. That's why they invest so much time and money and effort into keeping us down. Because we're not the devil's bottom of the totem pole, not even children of God, that they try to get us to believe. Because they're too busy copying us, trying to figure out what to do next. Obviously, anything they do, everything they got, they took from us. So just a little reminder, y'all. I love us.
Grand rising kings and queens, welcome back to my YouTube space. All of you across the ocean and inside Africa, I greet you with love, honor, and deep respect. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Now, because of light, I remember you were asking me why I'm sleeping while recording video, but it's because of the light with my eyes. Allow me to wear this a little bit. Today, I want to dive into something. It's a powerful conversation, and this conversation has been building up for years, and now it's undeniable. No one can resist what I'm going to talk about. White Americans, white people, and the white system are now realizing that black culture is the blueprint and they can't copy it anymore. Black culture is the blueprint and they can't copy it anymore. And that's right. From music, fashion, language, innovations, styles, spirit, black culture has set the tone for what's cool, what's original, and what's revolutionary. Today, we are seeing a major shift. We are seeing a major shift. The era of imitation is breaking down. And the source, black culture is rising stronger than ever. You hear me? Before I go on with my commentary, I want to play you these clips first. Watch this one and then we come back and we continue.
Your white skin is so beautiful. Why do you go to the beach and burn yourself to a crisp trying to get brown if it's so wonderful to be white? And if you love your thin lips, why are you going to the doctor getting collagen injected and telling me my lips are too big? Don't, that's my thing. That trips me out. Whenever, white girls come to me, oh, your butt is so big. And it's like, well, why do you go get on that stair stepper at Holiday Health Spa trying to get your butt as big as mine? And being white is so wonderful. I don't understand why all these white teenagers don't stay white.
Being black is like being a superhero that the world doesn't appreciate. You know how powerful you are, but in that power, you don't want to be too powerful because people will fit and even try to kill you or imprison you.
Scared to go at them.
Yeah.
Like it been in history. Everybody got their rights through us. Yeah. You go back in history, you don't see nobody else fighting them fights, getting hit with the water hoses or get the dogs. No, it was us. Everybody else got their rights off of our fight. Mm-hmm. And then they get the privileges and then they start looking down on us like we the problem. Like,
These
nigga,
is
what?
all facts. These is all facts.
Nigga, we the reason you cracking right now. Fuck is you talking about?
So how do you think they don't like your delivery?
It's not
but
wrong
the
with
message
delivery.
is all a fact.
Man, this ain't DiGiorno's. I don't give a fuck about no
for
delivery.
Sure. I agree with everything.
And this ain't Burger King. You can't have it your way. Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be the truth, real raw and uncut.
What you said for sure.
So how do you feel about like these up and coming or these Mexican artists or Hispanic about their new rap style, the cadence, the attire that they present themselves in front of cameras? Like, what's y'all take on that?
We know what the take is. Everything is us. Everything is us. Everything is emulated through us. The cadence, the rap style, the look, the style. They getting edge ups now. Nigga, when I was growing up, essays didn't have edge ups. They was bald, nigga. Yeah. Niggas are getting straight, lineups, fades, everything is us. We set the precedent from here to Africa to China to Alaska.
Around the world.
We set the trends around the world. Everybody's a carbon copy of us. But once they get the success, a lot of people start to try to shun us out the picture like we not the blueprint.
And there's one with us. We tend to see culture in terms of music, in terms of the kind of dance we have, in terms of the songs we sing. And that is a part of culture. But ultimately, culture is deeper than that. Culture is a way of thinking. Ultimately, culture is a conspiracy. That is, it is a means by which a group of people organize the way they think, organize the way they believe, organize the way they see the world, so as to create a consciousness by which they can cooperate in achieving certain ends, so that they can mutually aid each other and gain ends that they cannot gain as separate individuals. So culture is an instrument of power. The individual through culture extends his power, and the culture extends the power of the group. When we talk about music and song and dance, what we are talking about here then is how culture ultimately comes to be implanted in our bodies. You see, we tend to look at song and dance and music as entertainment. And this is our serious mistake. We have a lot of our youth out there looking at music as mere entertainment. When we say that we are being enculturated, it means that a spirit is being implanted in us by the culture. It means our group is instilling in our bodies and in our minds a possessing spirit such that when our culture calls our name, we respond to it. When our culture is in need of defense and support, we then defend it and support it because we are at one with it. In other words, why does the black man respond to the white man? Why does the black man serve the white man? Why does everything the black man do benefit the white man? Why does the black man say freedom is doing what I want to do? And why is it that everything he wants to do enriches the European? Why is it that our youth say that they are being free and that they're doing what they want to do and they're expressing themselves, and it involves buying a $100 pair of sneakers from white folk? Yes. Yes. All of this kind of stuff. Why? Because the spirit that is implanted in the human mind and in the human psyche is there to only respond to its creator and to its master. And therefore, when you let another people generate a spirit in you, when you let another people generate certain values in you, when you let another people generate a certain look, generate a certain reality for you, when you let another people let you see yourself in a particular sort of way and see your own people in a particular sort of way, they have implanted a spirit, and that spirit has been created by them, and that spirit only responds to them. And it only responds to them in terms of furthering their interests and working against the interests of the body it possesses. And this is why there's that self-destructive spirit in us. Because the demon that possesses a body is not there for that body. It is there for the creator that placed it there. And if necessary to obey its creator, it destroys that body. It will destroy the body it inhabits.
Welcome back to class. Today's lesson is the way that Africa is erased from Arab culture, especially in North Africa, is simply diabolical, because Africa is everywhere, especially in North Africa. But somehow, a lot of people don't even think of North Africa as African. So let's go ahead and fix that. Did you know that for centuries, large parts of North Africa were predominantly inhabited by Black African populations, from the ancient Nubians and Cushites, whose civilizations ruled over over much of present-day Egypt for over 600 years, to the Moors who ruled over Spain, to the Amazigh, Haratin, and other black indigenous groups who lived across the Sahara and Sahel. But today, you'll hear things like, I'm not African, I'm Arab. I'm Moroccan, not black. I'm Egyptian, but not like African, even though geographically they are all on the continent of Africa. And culturally, so much of Arab identity was shaped by African people through trade, conquest, religion, and migration. Take Islam, for example. The first Muslims who fled persecution found refuge in Ethiopia. Africa was the first place Islam spread outside of Arabia, which you will see with the Zawiyas and Sufi brotherhoods who spread across Algeria and Sudan. Take Morocco, which was heavily involved in the trans-Saharan slave trade, which brought millions of sub-Saharan Africans to North Africa. But even before that, you had the Haratin, an indigenous black population native to the Dra Valley, who were never Arab or white. And many of the Moors who conquered Spain in 711 AD, they were black Berbers and Africans from present-day Morocco and Mauritania. What about henna, you say? Not originally Arab. The henna plant grows natively in Sudan, Egypt, and parts of East Africa, and Sudanese women have some of the oldest and richest henna traditions on earth. Henna culture didn't go to East until enslaved Sudanese and Ethiopian women brought it to the Gulf. Now it's a staple at Arab weddings, but that tradition is African. Ful medames, a staple Arab dish, it was eaten by the pharaohs in ancient Egypt long before Arab was even a thing in that region, because it's African. The jalabiya, the flowing robe people wear from Cairo to Rida, that's from the Nile Valley, Egypt and Sudan, a pre-Islamic African garment that was later adopted into Arab dress culture, which is African. Even the Arabic language spoken in Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, and Egypt are laced with Amazigh and African words mixed with Arab ones over the centuries. The food, you say? Couscous, tagine, and teas with herbs like hibiscus? Grown, traded, and cooked across the West and Central Africa long before borders said who belonged where. And don't even get me started on skin tone features or DNA. You know how that went last time. But I do believe the class was enlightened, so I'll spare the lecture for this section. The point is that many North Africans have black ancestry, whether from ancient kingdoms, the trans-Saharan trade routes, or enslaved Africans during Arab and Ottoman rule. But instead of embracing that history, many try to erase it. Why? Because anti-blackness, or as I clock it, black obsession, is global, baby. And in many Arab communities, it shows up as colorism, caste systems, and this bizarre obsession with distancing from blackness while retaining the culture and simultaneously trying to erase the people who created it. But denying African identity when you live in Africa, speak African-influenced Arabic, eat African food, pray in African mosques, and dance to African beats is simply an egregious delusion of historical amnesia wrapped in the jalabiya and saged with bahur. You know, that incense beloved in Arab culture today, which is, surprise, surprise, also African. The highest quality of frankincense is still found today in Somalia and Sudan, but here's an olive branch to come on over to the dark side, because the real flex is claiming all of it. Arab and African, Muslim and black, because at the end of the day, it's what makes North Africa so powerful, so rich, and so beautiful. So class, next time we get a whiff of that northern I'm not African logic, just blink twice, smile, and say, well, your continent says otherwise. Class dismissed.
Welcome back. I just played you videos of people talking about the culture, the black culture, how it is, and etc., etc. And as I told you, white people or white America, they can't copy this anymore. Now, from the moment African people were brought to America, from the moment FBS, from the moment black Americans started to be black Americans, they were stripped of everything. But what did they do? They created again. They turned pain into rhythm. They turned survival into fashion. They turned struggle into strength. And black Americans birthed gospel, jazz, blues, rock, hip-hop, R&B, Afrobeats, name all of them. And they flipped language and created slang that is shaping how people talk right now in the world. A lot of people are using the slang of black people. Black Americans built the entire culture movement that the mainstream could not resist, because black culture is magnetic. But here's the thing. For decades, white America treated black culture like a buffet. You get that? They take the music, but not the message. They take the hair, but not the history. They take the dance, but not the dignity. Black people were innovators. White people were the distributors. But now the table is turning. Because the blueprints isn't just in style. The blueprint, it is in soul, it is in spirit, it is in struggle, and it can't be copied. You can't copy something spiritual. You cannot do that. The era of copying is crumbling. I have seen it over and over again. When I go on TikTok, I see white TikTokers stealing dance trends from black creators and getting brand deals. White rappers blowing up while the black artists who built the gene are sidelined. I have seen fashion designer copying black streetwear and selling it back to them like 10 times. But something is changing, and I'm so happy I'm living to see something changing. This new generation, for example, the Generation Z, and even the Alpha, they see through the copying. They know where it started. They know who organized it, and most importantly, they are calling it out. When you look at TikTok right now, you see black creators taking back their credit. When you look at the fashion world, you see black designers making noise on their own terms. When you look at the music industry, independent black artists are building their own lanes. White America can't keep up anymore. Why? Because you can't copy soul. My guy, you cannot copy soul, my guy. You cannot imitate a lived experience, and you can't fake a generational journey through full that is full of fire. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? You can't fake a generational journey. Even if you try to whitewash it, how? You can't fake the struggle, survival, and beauty. You see black expressions here and there. It cannot be whitewashed anymore. I have an example here. There was a time white America could take black invention and erase the origin. For example, what happened in Egypt, ancient Egypt? They erased everything. The building of pyramid, they erased everything. They erased who was the king, the father of mathematics. They erased who was the father of architect. Because they cannot stand to know that black people did it, that black people were the real inventors and innovators were the real builders. They build even without concrete. They even don't know how black people build the pyramid. There's this type of music called rock and roll. There's this guy called Elvis. They take rock and roll and they gave Elvis all the glory. They gave Elvis the crown. But in reality, it was Chuck Berry who built the rock kingdom. There's this another music that goes slows. My director, which is the music? That one that goes slows. Jazz, blues, and R&B. I'm talking about blues. They take blues. They loved it when white people sang it, but ignored it when black people who bled it sang it. Even the dance, it's called break dancing. It was born in Bronx. But global competition almost erased the black and Latino roots. But today I see the script is breaking. Right now the script is breaking. I see black pride, social media, Pan-African unity. We are rewriting the narrative. And that's what I'm trying to do here. We are rewriting the narrative. Black Americans are telling their stories with confidence right now. Africans, we are standing tall, not waiting for validation. You see? And the world is starting to say that we know the real source. We know the real source. It's okay. We are the real source. And the white Gen Zs too are not buying their grandfather's stories. They know the truth right now. White people can wear braids, but it just looks like a costume. I'm sorry for that, but it's okay. I've seen white people wearing braids. It's just looking like a acting costume. Drama festival. White people can rap. They can rap so well. But it lacks the depth. When black person rap and white person rap, there's a depth in black person rap. White people can wear the clothes, but it feels hollow. Because now people want authenticity. Be authentic. And black culture is the definition of that. Something else is happening too. If you haven't noticed, let me tell you, black people are reclaiming themselves. Black people right now are bold. And this is the key. For years, we allowed the world to borrow our culture because we were taught to devalue it ourselves. We sing our culture and we sing it's poor. We see our culture and we see it's like this. But no, right now I'm seeing changes and I'm happy that it's happening right in front of my eyes. It's happening when I'm still alive and I can record it and I can talk about it and I can congratulate and say, oh my God damn it. It's happening so fast. I love it. I don't know how Gen Alpha will come and blend in, but for me, I love the change and the next generation will be super cool on this. Right now, black people are rocking natural hair. Unapologetically, I see black women rocking natural hair, creating our own platforms, celebrating African spirituality, our languages, our heritage. And we are saying no to being the cool that used but not respected. We are done with that. We ain't cool anymore. And that's why when I see black creators say, pay us, credit us, and remixing it with power, and saying don't touch our stuff, and saying it with power, it's not ego. It is dignity. It is not hate, it is healing. And one time I was saying, dignity is what defines us. Some things we talk, we fight, we protest, not because that we are making noise, not because we are doing what, but it's because of our dignity. A man with dignity is a very cool man. This generation of black youth is reclaiming the past. And white America, they are in shock because they never expected the source to stand up and say, no more free access. Pay me, credit me, this is our dance, do this, using our fashion, our slang. We are doing it. We are reclaiming it. Because if we talk about reparation, it has a lot of debate. But if you are not giving us reparations, why not claim our own, what we own, our own culture, our own style, our own music, and everything? And it's not just America. Black American culture built hip-hop. And now hip-hop is global, not just America. African culture birthed Afrobeats. Now it ran the world. Caribbean culture gave us dancehall, reggae roots, patois, patois. Now people are speaking patois. Wagwan, me family, me love you watching me video. Now everyone, you get the white people using patois, and I love it. The world is using patois. Africa is using patois. Everybody now is quoting it. White people are realizing you can't keep remixing the creativity of black people without respecting our humanity, because you use our music, but you don't respect the people who produce the music. That's absurd. That's bad. Whether it's in black Twitter, black fashion designer, or black inventors, the culture that was once mocked is now the gold standard. Now they are using words from black people. Walk. It is lit. Name them. And what makes this more powerful is that it's no longer seeking acceptance. It is commanding respect. And we are not asking to be included in their spaces. We are building our own. And that's why white people can't keep up, because the energy is shifting. They are used to black people creating the flavor while they own the restaurant. But now, let me tell you what's happening right now. Let me tell you. It go shock you. Now, we are not creating the flavor and they have the restaurant anymore. Black folks are now owning the restaurant. They are now building the hotels, their own tables, and telling folks that you can't sit here unless you respect the chef. And the chef is a motherfucking black guy or black folk. You get me? Now, as we talk all of this, sometimes we talk, but what happens next? Black creators are saying no to exploitation. That's what is happening. Black people are gatekeeping their culture with pride, not shame. Young white people are confronting the truth right now. Their culture is borrowed. You see in Africa what's happening. We're telling the colonizer, you need to leave. We're telling the supremacy. We're telling the white people, you love the country, you love Africa, but we need to have dignity. We need to have privacy. Leave us alone. We need to create good business between us two. And this is not about division. It's about integrity. If you love black culture, love black people. If you use the language, love the history. If you wear the style, honor the struggle then. Because culture is not just fashion. It is identity. It's not just about entertainment. They call black people entertainers. It's empowerment. The world is waking up. Let me tell you. The world is waking up. And those who relied in copying, they are out of sync. Because the beat of black culture can't be stolen. It is too original, too spiritual. Beating the drums. Ding, 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 ding. You hear these ladies, what they're doing here. It is so natural. When they beat the drums, it's spiritual. We are talking to our ancestors and we are giving you entertainment. So you're feeling the talk between us and the ancestors, and it is too spiritual and it's too powerful, and you cannot remix that, my guy. You can't remix that. Black culture is the blueprint. Always have been. But now, we are waking up to protect it, uplift it, and let the world know you can't copy what's divine. White America is realizing they can't imitate what they don't understand. Because black culture isn't just trends. It is truth. It is talking the voice in your head. You know what? The unheard voices, we are talking it. The beauty is resistance, in resistance. The crown of survival, it is soul. It is soul and strength wrapped in rhythm and art. To all my brothers and sisters watching this, love your culture. Please, just do it. Love your culture. Wear your culture. Even once at a time. Own your story. Build your legacy. Don't shrink it. Don't sell it. Guard it. Celebrate it. Share it with purpose, my people, because the world is watching. And finally, they know who set the standard. It's about culture. I'll finish my video by saying, Hakuna Matata.